And here we are for game number 2 of our Kappa StarLeague, spawning in the northeast position as the blue Zerg player. He's got a license to kill and the skills to pay the bills from Root Gaming. It is Chad, yes, that really was my girlfriend, Jones. And in his opponent in the southwest position, who looks like he wants to open up Forge this game from, well, formerly of Quantic Gaming, it is HyuN. There's really not that many ways to make his intro more trolly, so I don't know what else to I don't really know what else to say about that. Like, that's all I got. So, but HyuN, he had a rough week. Some news came out. If you guys didn't hear, he had some trouble with his team. So that's one of the reasons I really wanted to get HyuN on. Not just because I thought he would beat Minigun's face in and take the $100 for free, but because he's a cool guy. And HyuN is probably one of the nicest, at least from the players that I met. He's one of the nicest guys. He's very easy to reach. He plays in like everything, and he's never mean or BM or even rude in any way. So he's cool. Of course, Minigun is he's kind of the same, really, when you think about it. Minigun, this guy can have mad losing streaks and never rage. Apparently, we found out he doesn't like Mutalisks, purely based on the principle of him building a lot of Mutalisks. And HyuN's just kind of watching the natural. He's getting ready to potentially block this. He looks like he wants to actually go for a Nexus first with a probe positioning. So HyuN's already mixing it up. And he sees this pool timing. Will he still go for it? It looks like it was a 15 pool, so not necessarily impossible to Nexus first against, and he will Nexus first. This is a map that I think a lot of Protoss players really liked in Wings of Liberty. Because, well, you know, Immortal Centurions, etc., etc. But there's the Forge as well. Spawning pool is about to complete for Minigun. And we'll see, he's like, okay, your Forge is about halfway done, which means you probably went Nexus first. And, well, there's your Nexus. So Nexus is actually ahead of that hatchery by about 10 seconds. Gateway is on the way. And HyuN's already pretty much blocked himself in. I don't think he's actually blocked himself in again. But he's just got that probe tucked under. And he's getting ready to put this cannon down immediately. Chad is not actually built any Zerglings out of his hatchery since the spawning pool completed. So he's just kind of doing his thing, really. And there's that cannon. So I'm wondering, so if HyuN really doesn't like the Mutalisks, is he just going to try to kill him before then? Like that, the mass spine crawler thing is, you know, it's one of those, hey, I'm in Bronze League. I think my opponent's going to attack me. I should do this. And HyuN just says, LOL. Those Zerglings are now coming after his probe. Minigun with the kissy face. You can already see these guys having a little fun here. And I think it's really important to note that this show match is just a good, you know, it's all about having just having fun. And anything that these players say, I really wouldn't take seriously as BM, because everybody's getting paid either way. And yeah, so HyuN will have to bring his probe back, but let's see where he goes from here. Minigun's got that third base underway, like we said. No gas this time, of course. He wasn't playing versus the gateway opening. And HyuN, he's got his, he's trying to move a probe out. That Zergling's there to immediately spot it, though, so that won't be too easy to do. He is starting to be forced back a little bit. And, well, actually, he's just going to try to run straight up. I guess he just wants to scout the third base, even though he might lose the probe. The Stalker is on the way as well. Could just be trying to put some forward pressure on. Robotics facility under construction. And HyuN with the double gas could actually go for another one of those Immortal plays. Maybe a big Immortal Sentry attack like he tried for in the last game. But maybe a bit more Sentry focus and not so much on the Zealots. Or a more crisp timing, because this is actually a ridiculously fast robotics facility, and this third gas is quite fast as well. If he took his fourth gas in the next 30 seconds, my mind would be blown. And by that I mean he'd be Immortal Sentry all-inning. And yeah, would be fun to see. But there's a gas underway for Minigun. He's droning up. He's saturated on his natural expansion. He's a bad boy, and he knows it. Robotics facility is completing for HyuN, taking that fourth gas. And this poor Overlord, some people fight for the swarm, some people gather resources, and some people just slowly float until they die. Roach Warren's halfway done, though. Photon Cannon denies this Overlord, but not before it sees the Robo Facility. And there's those Immortals coming out. So, Chad, what hasn't he been called yet, Jones, has his lair on the way. And oh, this other Overlord does manage to escape. HyuN not able to get too many kills with this. So, of course, the Stalker's purpose was to delay that. And we just had pylons being placed. He wants to have full base vision. Goodness knows what kind of weirdness could come out of his opponent. And he's got all 4 gas gouges mining. The Mothership Core is complete. He's trying to get out another Immortal. Most likely. Go for a 2 Immortal push of some kind. How many sentries is HyuN at? Just 1. He's trying to make a lot happen with these upgrades and that Mothership Core. So let's see what he does with this, because we could just warp in a bunch more gateways, which I kind of expect to see really, really soon. 1, 2, 3 more. It's up to 4 gates. Come on, HyuN. You know you want to go up to like 6 or 7, 8 gateways. And let's see. These Lings. I guess he knows the tower has been taken. HyuN does know about Minigun's 3rd base. Roach speed is on the way. We do have an evolution chamber on the production tab as well for Minigun. So he's going to try to get some upgrades, but I don't know if they're going to have much of an impact on this game because, well, HyuN is actually only moving up to 6 gateways. With this robotics facility, though, 3 Immortals, he theoretically could take a 3rd base behind this. So he did it out on a 5th gateway. Yeah, so 5. Yeah. So that he could take a 3rd base. He has a very low sentry count. I'd actually like to see him just do a straight warping of sentries right now with these gateways. The Overlord sees the finishing gates. HyuN's got 1 left. You got 1 more to turn, buddy. There we go. Warps in 1 Stalker at home to get rid of that Overlord. And the Warp Prism's in the production tab. There's already a good number of Zerglings here. We can see that HyuN is saying, yep, I want to kill you. With those rallied production or queued pylons. Mothership Core comes running up here. There are a few roaches. And this army looks really small for HyuN. There's just not as many sentries as you'd typically expect. And I'm interested to see how this unfolds. Certainly no parting Soul Train. There's the rest of the sentries. They're not quite with the army. But it looks like HyuN's getting ready to attack. There's not really any spine crawlers here, but I think Minigun might have the numbers edge on him. And it was really funny how well, Minigun's doing surprisingly well here. Gets the sentries out in the center of the field. And HyuN's attack, he's having some trouble. Takes out the spine crawler. The first one, he's force fielding off those Zerglings from the reinforcing. And he might take out the second one. The roaches are trying to get the surround. Ooh. HyuN did some good damage, but oh man, it looks like one of his Immortals will get picked off. It does. The second Immortal going to drop soon as well. And the final Immortal cleaned up by Minigun. He's got so much left over. I don't think this attack for HyuN worked. And he's just like, what? What? This has been pretty funny. And Minigun gets a few Lings into that base, but the rest of the roaches are coming up. HyuN can't believe it. He can't believe it. Minigun's taken the first 2 games, it seems. He's down 80 supply to 140. And the roaches start to spill into the natural expansion. Another Immortal is on the way, but will it be out in time? I don't think so. The Warp Prism has returned, but what is it going to do? Rest of the roaches come in, more sentries falling. The Zealots are doing some work, but that Immortal, as soon as it pops, will be birthed into a world filled with Zerg. And GG Minigun with the 2-0 lead over HyuN here at the Kappa StarLeague. And this smile doesn't lie. This is actually really fucking hilarious because of how much Minigun thought he was going to lose. This has been cool. And, of course, everyone can just throw in an honor.